Hey, I'm Josh Assad with the Mosaic Real Estate team at Keller Williams, and we are here for an episode of Pieces of Western New York, where we interview cool people that are doing cool things that make Western New York a cooler place to be. So today we're in East Aurora at the west end of the village in the Gray Street Plaza, and this plaza looks great. It's got a TJ Maxx, it's got a hardware store, it's got a grocery store, it's got a liquor store, and it's got one of the most heavily trafficked farmers markets in Western New York, so you gotta come check that out. Now, East Aurora is a cool town. It's packed with like cool shops and great restaurants and like character-rich homes and a legendary history and overall just a really strong sense of community. So today we're gonna meet two of those community members that are doing some pretty cool things. We're gonna meet Bren Patterson and Rachel Clark, and they've kind of joined forces to create this wellness space called Sana. And I think you're gonna find that it's much more than a Pilates studio. So let's go check it out. Hey, so now we're inside Sana in this great space with owners Bren Patterson and Rachel Clark. And guys, can you tell me a little bit about what this place is? What are we doing here?
Sure. Thank you for coming, first off.
Yeah.
Thank you. We are a physical therapy, Pilates, and wellness center in the heart of East Aurora. And we do one-on-one physical therapy, integrating Pilates-based rehabilitation for orthopedic and pelvic health clients. We also do Pilates, therapeutic Pilates. We offer classes, private sessions, and some really awesome wellness services such as massage and 𝐻𝐸x, which we'll show you in a bit.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, can you show us around a bit?
Sure. So right here where we're standing, we have the wonderful Jenna. She's our receptionist, and she can get you scheduled for your PT and Pilates and any other needs. And then coming in here, we have our Pilates studio. So this is a state-of-the-art balanced body Pilates studio, 6 reformers, 6 chairs. If you know Pilates equipment, that makes sense. If you don't worry about it. And we run group classes out of this space. They're small groups. We have up to 6 people in a class. And that's part of our wellness services we offer here. Coming back here, we get more into the physical therapy world of the clinic. And then we also offer 𝐻𝐸x classes, which happen over in this corner here. And then coming soon, we're going to be offering some balance classes too, for some of our clients that just want to work on balance and decrease their fall risk and things like that.
Yeah, I love the space. It feels good. So what happens in all these rooms?
Yeah, so these are our treatment rooms, so we'd love to show you them. And what we wanted for the space was it to feel welcoming, comfortable. We wanted it to be beautiful. So we hope that that's what you feel. So within our physical therapy treatment rooms, we can focus on manual therapy if it is necessary, modalities as needed. We can do some more private work like we do with our pelvic health patients. And then when that is not needed, we come out and we can use this beautiful gym and setup with the Pilates equipment to work on the rehabilitation. So this is our massage room. Our massage therapist she does a therapeutic massage. We all work together very well, and we make sure everyone is aware of how the patient's doing at that time. So everyone, all of the providers are in the know about the patient's conditions.
So maybe we can go sit down and talk a little bit more and get into the meat of what's going on here. I've been coming here for I guess a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was new to Pilates, and I'm always happy to come because I know I'm always going to feel even better. And I think what I learned on this tour is that really this space is all about making people feel better.
Yeah, that's our goal.
All right, cool. Well, let's sit down and maybe we can talk a little bit more, learn more about you and what you guys do here.
Absolutely.
Hey, so thanks so much for the tour. That was great. So what is Sana? What does this mean?
So we thought of the name Sana. It's actually Latin. It's the feminine version of healthy. And it means like kind of health and well-being in lots of different languages. So we thought that was absolutely perfect for us because that is our vision for the community, to provide a space of healing and wellness. So that's where the name came from.
So Sana, you said is female. You guys is a female-owned business. There's lots of females that operate here. Can men come here too?
Absolutely. And we hope to see more men for sure, at least in the Pilates world. In the physical therapy world, we're seeing lots of men. we are exposing them to what Pilates-based rehabilitation is, see if they like the form of exercise. But I have to say, in our past experiences, mine in Los Angeles, Bren's in Minnesota, Pilates was at least 40% men in those areas. So I think we have a little building to do here because there's so many benefits. As a man, with posture, with the way kind of our body is aligned, with how we work out, everything's kind of forward in front. Such great benefits to integrating Pilates into your life.
Tom Brady swore by it, I hear.
Yep. So there's a reason Bryce
We
said
can
So
attribute
many
it.
athletes.
Can we say his name in this town? No, there's retired.
we
It's
can.
okay.
He's retired.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. That's great. So can we talk about the fact that this is the reformer, right? And it looks like a medieval torture device. Like what does Pilates do? For those that have never done Pilates or don't know what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. These machines look a little more scarier than they actually are. Initially, when you use them, they're really going to unweight your body. We want to access the deepest level of core muscles. And if you're lifting heavy weights and your core isn't strong, your core is going to shut off and you're going to use the wrong muscles. So we want to train the deep core muscles to support our body, which is where we get the improved posture from. A lot of people these days have back pain or joint pain. And by training our deep core stabilizing muscles to wake up and do the job they are designed to do, it can alleviate the symptoms of back problems, hip problems, other joint problems. And in our modern life these days, we sit on cushy chairs, we have comfy beds, we have really cushiony shoes. So our core doesn't have to work like it used to when we sat on rocks and wooden furniture and things like that. So for a lot of us, those muscles are just sleepy. So we're waking them up using this gentle equipment. Not to say Pilates is easy. It takes a lot of mind-body focus to really make sure you're using those deep muscles. But it's highly effective. If you've tried mat Pilates and you think, oh, I've tried mat, I know what Pilates is, it's not for me. Reformer-based or equipment-based Pilates is totally different. So I do challenge you to give this a try.
I think it's a little more engaging. It gives, I feel people have a little bit more fun, using the equipment, and they're able to stick with it for longer and really see the benefits than a traditional mat program.
Yeah, I find that I feel much better overall in the day because I am behind a computer or behind a car or sitting like this. So yeah, you're right. I didn't know I had those muscles. Right?
And it can be done in a very safe way. Yes, we progress, the client. And initially we start in kind of a neutral spine position that we can talk about later, and putting, focusing on the core, but then moving our limbs around our core. So everything is stable throughout before we kind of integrate that flexion and extension of the spine into our movements. So there's a progression with Pilates that we start, and that's something that we do offer here. And we found that there was a need because I think people were intimidated that you had to be a dancer, a gymnast,
Right.
in order to come in and do this. Not at all.
Yeah, I think it is intimidating if you haven't done it.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to be good at Pilates to do Pilates.
Absolutely. No, we have level 1 classes 3 times a week where we do, some of that very kind of gentle work. But still challenging and safe and effective. And those classes are extremely popular. And I think that's what we want. We love to see that clients of all ages can do this and can be challenged in the way that is safe and effective for their bodies.
So where can we learn more, right? Where can we go to learn more about this, and where are your classes?
Yeah. So our website, sanahealthandwellness.com. You can sign up for our classes. We have an app you can download, so it's really easy to keep track of your package and take yourself in and out of classes that way. And then if you're interested in physical therapy, you can call our front desk, our Jenna, you can call, and she'll get you signed up for that. And we also are happy to talk to your insurance company to see what is covered for you and do courtesy billing. So we try to make it as easy to access our services as possible.
So this is a relatively new space, and tell me, how long have you guys been here? How did this happen?
Yeah, so this space we opened in May, and technically that's kind of when Sana was launched. I know you said you had been a patron for a few years, but that I guess if you want to know the story of how we met a little bit, I'll let Bren speak to a little bit more about her former business, but she had a Pilates studio that was happening when she moved here, right before the pandemic happened, and I'll let her talk about that. But my personal story is I had a clinic that I co-owned in Pacific Palisades, California, Los Angeles, the Cypress Center, for the last 8 years or so, and it looked just like this because it worked, and it worked so well, and what we were able to give to the community was something that within 6 months we're seeing is happening here. So it's amazing. So we kind of mirrored that approach, and it has been just beautiful. But what I was doing there led me to find Bren, because when I moved here, and we can talk about the reasons why, but I found that there was another physical therapist in East Aurora that was Pilates trained, and they're few and far between. So when I did just a random Google search of Pilates places in the area, who's this? And I saw a physical therapist was doing it and being out on her own, having a business, I was like, I at least have to meet her. And so I wrote an email, and I think within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I received Rachel's email. I had started Southtowns Pilates March 1st of 2020, which, as we all know, what happened a couple weeks later. It was maybe not the best time to start a Pilates studio, but it did grow and was pretty successful. But so I received Rachel's email, and right away, I just picked up my phone and called her because, again, there's not many Pilates trained physical therapists. So we started talking and brainstorming, and I had opened up Southtowns Pilates because I wanted to just do something fun, and I was passionate about Pilates because I've always had back pain, and Pilates was the only thing that helped my back pain. So I can say solidly I've been pain-free now for years, and I owe it to Pilates. When I take a break from Pilates, I feel like it might sneak back, and I get back into my workout routine, and it's gone, and I feel better today than I did 10 years ago. But so that's why I opened up Southtowns Pilates, and then Rachel had the experience of running a physical therapy clinic and incorporating the Pilates-based rehab into the physical therapy. And I was starting to miss physical therapy, having just been teaching Pilates for a while. So we came up with the idea of Sana together, and this is it. So it was nice because we had, our faithful Pilates clients already, like you, Josh. Thank you. And then we just built the physical therapy into that model as well.
What are the odds?
I was,
and
yeah.
then the two of you actually get along and can operate a
We
business
like each
together.
other.
Yeah, right. That's
Well,
a nice thing.
it was a little odd because when we met, we also were walking out to our cars and realized that we drive the same car and the same color car. So there is a little bit of
Strange things there. Yeah.
Right. Oh, and I guess I should also indicate that we're both pelvic health trained as well. So that is something that's not that common in Western New York. There's not a lot of providers that do that. So we're physical therapists that, even though we have the doctorate of physical therapy, we have additional kind of extensive training in pelvic health. So we're able to provide that as physical therapists, which works very nicely hand in hand with some of the Pilates that we do.
And if people have reached out to try to find a pelvic floor therapist in the past, a lot of times they're faced with 3-month up to 6-month wait times, which isn't too helpful. So we're really dedicated to having multiple PTs working here. So there's no wait time to get in. We can get you in maybe the same week, if not the next week. So we're trying to keep that.
And we work with patient populations throughout the lifespan. I think that's important. That, pediatrics all the way up until our senior population as well, and men.
And men.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That's amazing. So how did you end up in Western New York? How does this happen?
Well, actually, Rachel and I both went to college in Western New York. I am a UB graduate from their first year of Doctor of Physical Therapy students that they ever put out into the world, 2004. And Rachel graduated from Damon same year.
Yeah,
right?
same year and same first year of their program as well.
Oh, man, this is destined.
Yeah, a little
crazy.
bit, a little weird.
But then you didn't stay in Western New York, right?
Yeah, I was here until 2008, and my husband and I was pregnant with our daughter at the time. We moved out to Minneapolis for his job, and that's where I got introduced to Pilates. So just like in LA, where these Pilates-based rehab physical therapy clinics were, pretty prevalent, that's where I worked, and I trained and became a comprehensively certified Pilates teacher. And then, then after about 11 years there, we decided we wanted the kids to experience Western New York. We sort of missed it. Minneapolis was a big city, and we were ready to come back home again. So we asked all our friends where we should move because we were, previously we had lived in North Buffalo. And they were all like, nope, you got to go to East Aurora. That's the place to raise your kids. And but good luck, you're never going to find a house. So we ended up.
Tell me, we can fix that.
Yeah, thanks. Sure. We ended up finding a house about a year sooner than we hoped, and had to put an offer in sight unseen, and got it. And it's wonderful here. Our kids love going to school here. I love working here, and it's just been a very positive change in our life.
So neither you nor your husband grew up here, though, right? You just went
My
to school here?
husband is from Orchard Park.
Okay.
Grew up in a few places, but high school in Orchard Park, and I grew up in Albany. And we met at UB.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's a Western New York story. I love it.
It is at the Steer.
Oh, man. Main Street. Oh, yeah. That was like early 2000s. Yeah. Excellent. How about you, Rachel?
Sure. 2004, I graduated as well. Immediately, I did an internship in San Diego. So once I was there, I got a little taste of California. I wanted to experience more. So since 2004 up until 2020, I was really in California, some various places, but really settled down in Los Angeles area at Topanga, California. And I had a business in the Palisades and loved it. I look back and smile. It was such a wonderful time of my life. But as, the years kind of went by, we lived in the Santa Monica Mountains. Wildfire season became, I guess, more than just a few red flag days. It was a whole season of a little bit of stress and nervousness. And then the pandemic came. And I think it just allowed us to reset, to just have like, if it wasn't here, where would it be? And the only option was here. And I mean, I grew up in 𝐬𝐲𝐭 County and my family is still here. So that was very important to me. I think for close to 20 years, my father was trying to get me back to the area, sending newspaper clippings and so forth. And finally, we just kind of reevaluated and thought, let's do this. I had a wonderful business partner there. So, my business was taken care of. And we made the leap and came, and same thing. We chose East Aurora for the ability to, we live in the country, but be able to have access to a beautiful main street with small businesses, huge community support for small businesses, the quaintness, not a lot of commercialization, the upbringing for the children. I can't stress how wonderful that is here. It is absolutely everything that we had wanted.
So this little town stacks up against these big cities?
Oh,
yes. Yeah, absolutely. And only growing too. Only I'm always like, how can these areas sustain more business? And they do. They're supported by the local communities. And I guess I also want to plug Western New Yorkers because, coming from the big city, I had a lovely experience, but I think out of our first experience with moving here and buying a home and starting this, I remember like coming to my husband, and both of us were saying how nice and kind people are here, genuinely. Like that was something that I think in big cities you don't always get, that kind of feeling. And here I just remember that was a takeaway from both of us being like, wow, it was really, really great to work with everyone that we have, to kind of form this and make this happen.
That's cool. That's great to hear. I always feel like Western New Yorkers have this sense of like ownership about the space, right? So like we're in this thing together. Yeah. And that's maybe where that niceness comes from, is like, hey, we're, it might snow 10 feet tomorrow and we're going to have to dig each other out, but we've got each other.
Absolutely.
And the bills.
Definitely. And the bills. Yes. Of course. I had to brush up for a while, but I knew that coming back. I absolutely knew that was going to be the case.
It's like religion,
Yeah, had to get her some new Bills gear.
Yeah.
And we have like, in this small town, there's still arts and music and culture, and you're still 20 minutes away to go to the Albright Knox Art Gallery or to any number of restaurants. It's amazing with no traffic, and you can still park up front. It's cool.
Right. When we were looking for a space, that was a huge concern of our clients and potential patients, because it was parking. And for me, I was like, there's parking everywhere. But because I come from, a place where that's not the case at all. So it was sometimes, just traffic. The fact that we don't have to deal with traffic, like what rush hour is here is like a normal, normal time on the freeway elsewhere. And, the not having any stress from natural disasters too. I mean, we do have the blizzards, I understand that, but if you're prepared and able to, be prepared and so forth, I feel like what other parts of the country are going through compared to what we have here is just really wonderful. Yeah.
I will take a little bit of snow to be near one of the largest freshwater sources on the planet.
And
it's a good trade-off.
And I think people are understanding that too. I do. I think there's there's growth to be had, and we're gonna kind of see. We're seeing that here.
One other thing that I always think of in Buffalo is like, it's big enough that that everything is here if you want it, but it's small enough that if you want to do something or you want to change something, you can just go do it. Like you can go open your own Pilates studio. You can go open a restaurant. You can go, things are available. It's accessible to be just a person that doesn't have, piles of money or anything. Like, I'm just going to go do this thing.
Absolutely. You can take your kid and teach them how to ski at a park. And they for free. And they can learn that biking by the water. There's just so many things here that I think Buffalo in itself has to offer. That is so wonderful to have an environment to raise a child in, and having them be exposed to those types of things without having it be extremely expensive or you running around, staying in traffic trying to do this. No, I'm amazed by that.
Oh man. Well, I can't thank you guys enough for having us. It was awesome to hear your story, and thank you for sharing that with us. And we look forward to see. Oh, you know what? Before we go, we got to maybe try some Pilates.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Like and subscribe so you can catch us next time on Pieces of Western New York. So my earliest memory in this plaza, we're going to go back 40 years. I was 4 years old. It's 1984, and I had saved up like allowance or whatever the hell I had. I had $1.30, and I went to that TJ Maxx at the time was Ames department store. And I went, Beverly Hills Cop 2 had just come out, and the theme song was Glenn Frey's The Heat Is On, and I went and bought my 45, man, and I played that frickin' album so much on my Fisher Price record player that I wore the thing out. I would dance and sing "The Heat Is On" for like the time, from the time I was 4 until the time I was 6. So that was like my earliest memory in this plaza. So anyways.